What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother Big Game James, and it is the best of enemies, man. We back with another one. What's going on, James?
What's up, big dog, man? You know me. I'm just chilling once again, ready to do this thing like we've been doing. The draft is like really around the corner. A lot of
Facts.
things have changed. A lot of things have moved around. It happens like week in, week out. Players have dropped. The players that we talked about in the very beginning, like N'Kobe Dean, those type of guys who were like the who's who at the very beginning. Now they talking about them guys could be second round. So that's just how the draft happens. The longer it goes, the more you can nitpick these players, and then that's when they can move up and move down.
Facts. And even on the opposite end, right? Like we've been talking about Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson. We're seeing these guys skyrocket up boards, right? These were guys we were looking at close to our spot and thinking maybe we can grab them. But now Trayvon Walker is looking like a top 5, top 10 guy. Jermaine Johnson looking like a top 10, top 15 guy. So it's crazy that this mock, and that's why I like doing these mock drafts. I'm gonna be real because I feel like every week it's been different what you could get, right? Like every week it's been like a different set of players that you're like, I don't know if he's gonna fall to here. Because I'm even hearing Derek Stingley might end up falling to like the Eagles. If that happens, I'm out here doing a backflip, to be honest. Like, hey, this draft might get really interesting. I would say that much. This draft might get really interesting.
Yeah, it could be definitely be interesting. They've been also been talking about Stingley could fall to us. Now they've been having a couple mocks where they say he could fall down to Dallas. So like I said, man, Jordan Davis, I thought he was going to be a top guy. They say he might be sliding. You never know, but that's the way the draft happens. When you're talking like 2-3 months away a draft, everybody's going to have these mocks, and that's why I said these mocks are crazy. It's just because you're bored and you ain't got nothing else to do, and that's why you do them. I mean, that's why I do them, because I ain't
Very
got
fact.
nothing else to do, so I just do them because it's fun. And you know what I'm saying? But when you get closer to it, you start thinking, who the Cowboys gonna really draft. You know what I mean? They got their 30 visits that just came in. So I pay attention to those type of things when I see that. And like I said, I don't never try to. Whenever I do these drafts on my own, I don't never try to draft how I like. I might like these players, but I try to look at how they really draft. So it ain't no
Yeah.
point in me talking about players I like when I know daggone well this team ain't even gonna look at that dude. So I just try to go by what they do, and their 30 visits kind of tee off of who they kind of like. If they talk to you in like an formal or informal uh, interview, and then they bring you in for a 30 visit, then it's a high probability they're going to draft you if you're available.
Yeah, no, facts. You guys are one of the more transparent type of front offices. You guys kind of just say what you're gonna do and then do it. So I mean that works out for teams like us. Like we get to kind of have an insight on what you guys want to do. But I will say the Eagles, just to kind of talk a little bit about what's going
It's
on
not
right
cool for
now.
us.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you guys hate that. I'm sure you guys are annoyed at that. But the Eagles right now are looking at Stephen Gilmore, which is big. If the Eagles somehow get Stephen Gilmore, I don't know. It might be scary hours in the NFC East, to be honest. It might be a wrap. Our defense might look real good if we get Stephen Gilmore out there. But either way, what are you looking at? I know that not much has really happened this past week, right? Like not much. The NFL owners had the meeting. We have a new overtime rule. Like, has anything really been happening in Dallas? Because it's been kind of quiet in Philly, to be honest.
Not really. There's nothing really that's done happen in Dallas that I really know of. Like I said, I think more so just now the draft is catching more steam. Stephen Jones actually was in the media. I will say that Stephen Jones was in the media. They were bringing up, just asking him questions, and in my opinion, he was just lying. When he was talking, they asked him specifically about Mari Cooper. They drilled him on questions. Shout out to them for drilling the questions to him. And, he was stuttering. Oh, we love to keep Amari Cooper, but it wasn't possible for us to keep, excuse me, Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. And yeah, you could have. You just didn't want them. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want them. And then I just saw Devontae Parker. And I know there was some other things that went with it, but he still went for a third. And Amari went for a fifth. And people in
Yeah.
Cowboys land are just sitting there thinking like, okay, well, if you're going to get rid of this dude and he's still one of the top players and all these other players that are probably not to his ability or at his ability, they're getting collateral back. Why did you settle for that? if you're talking about the cap and wheeling and dealing, and that just proves that it was just one of them things where you just wanted to get rid of him, and that was it. So I would say that was in the news, and him just talking about, the cap and the same thing that he always talk about. That's why I call him baby nuts. He just talk about the same thing over and over. I don't really pay attention to him anymore. You feel me? I'll listen to it just to see, just what I'm saying, just get the ear. But I don't be paying attention to that guy no more, man.
No, I feel you. Yeah, I mean, as far as the Eagles, we said a lot without saying much. Like, I feel like the Eagles are actually probably a little bit behind Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying that they won't get a quarterback. I think that's probably the only thing that I'm learning over this offseason is that they might not have lied about being, in on Jalen Hurts for this year, as far as that goes. And that might, shift the draft on how we pick up players. Because it feels like we're both cheap. Both of our franchises are very cheap. We both don't like to spend money. We don't like to give those big contracts, especially when we probably should. So it'll be interesting to see how we supplement that with the draft. But I'm kind of with you on the fact that I don't really take too much of what they say into effect, because it's it's the same song and dance every time, just trying to give the fan base the answers they want to hear instead of just being realistic with what's happening. I mean, the Eagles got shot down a bunch of times, but you ask the Eagles, they got everybody they wanted. They're happy with this. Kaiser White was the guy they wanted all along. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to sit there and BS you until they can, until you catch on and you're just like, whatever, man. But I did hear one thing about the owners meeting. I don't know how true it is. I will say that I just heard this, I think on the radio, they were just talking about this, that at the owners meeting, Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni, our head coach, got into like a argument. I don't know how big it was, but I heard that, they kind of screamed at each other and Sirianni left the building. So it'll be interesting to see if that's true, if it plays out. It's hard to really know what's true and not, especially around the 1st of April. I feel like everything's like saturated these couple of days. Everybody's just saying whatever to say, whatever. But I don't know. I think it's a quiet time right now. So all we can really do is look forward to the draft. That's all we got.
I don't think that's a. Oh, I'm sorry. You there? On my phone.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, man. I don't really think that's a big thing. Your coach and your GM are arguing. I mean, that happens all the time. You feel me, dog? Like, that's not a big thing. Like, if you're like sitting there being cool, like super time, like all the time, and never having any kind of differences, that's kind of weird to me. Like, that wouldn't be kind of real. So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't take anything into that. If it's something that you can continue to keep on hearing rumblings throughout the year, then that's something, yes, I would pay attention to. But I wouldn't look at something like that. I mean, you can have a disagreement, walked out. He probably told him something he ain't want to hear, and he said, I ain't trying to hear that, and I walked out. I mean, if it's something happened with me, I probably do the same thing. That doesn't mean we hate each other. We go right back to it, and then we talk again after that. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I don't think that's a big deal over that land. But, like I said, we'll see. The draft, like I said, is here. We haven't really did anything in free agency like usual, but that's the norm in Dallas, so I don't assume it. I said, in a tweet a couple of days ago that, Dallas analysts, the media, us content creators, fans, we got to really get experts in the draft. Like, we really look forward to the draft like before the draft, because, I mean, that's the lifeline of Dallas. I mean, that's what they really go hard in. And, Dallas has to really hit in the draft for really every single year, because if they don't, I mean, that's going to be the setback. As I said before last week, that'll be the setback of the team if they don't hit good on drafts.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to switch to that mindset. I think over the past, I'll say 2 decades, if I'm being realistic, because you can even go back to the McNabb era, the Eagles have kind of played the get cheap 28-year-olds that can fit the system for a couple years game, right, in the free agency. And we never really put all our chips into the draft. I mean, we've never hit on wide receivers. It's not just a, recency thing. It's not a recent thing. We've never really put a lot of our chips into the linebacking position. We have had a bad drought with safety. So it's now we are kind of forced with how the money is kind of starting to get spread out to different positions that we have to hit on the draft. You have to get some of these guys that can just, boost your team for 3 or 4 years on cheap contracts. So I think the NFL draft is going to start becoming very, very important for every franchise, not just ours. And if anything, that gives you guys a little bit of an advantage because you guys have been playing that game for a lot longer than some franchises, right? You guys have been trying to hit on the draft for longer than some. So you guys draft pretty well. I really can't.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but see, look, this is what it is. The philosophy that they talk about, I don't get mad at. You want to build through the draft. When I watch basketball, baseball, any team that you have, any organization, you do want to build through the draft. I mean, that would always be your lifeline because it's always a young man's game. You know what I mean? I understand that. I'm with that. I understand that you want to pay your own. If you got good players on your team, you want to keep them. And I understand you cannot keep everybody. Okay. And I also understand, but here's the thing about the free agency. I understand you don't want to go out there and spend money on free agents that are going to hold you down. But some of these free agents have proven themselves. I mean, a lot of them have. That's the reason why they're getting this money. I understand not hitting a first wave. But the thing is, you're having this philosophy, you're not winning. So something has to happen here. Some coaching got to get better. Something has to happen because that philosophy that you have is not a bad philosophy, but yet you're still not winning with it. You understand? And you feel like, well, we're just taking our time with it because, there's no pressure on them because they are the front office. They are everything for them to speed up that process. So they're taking their time with it. Well, while they're taking their time with it, it's 26 years and it's still failure. The philosophy, I don't think, is wrong. You don't want to overspend because the cap is real. I hear about these other teams saying we want to do this, but we can't because it's cap. I mean, so it is real. And Dallas is in good financial standing. But the guys that you're getting in free agency, are they difference makers? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting guys that are not taking you over the hump. You're losing guys in free agency, Amari Cooper, Randy Gregory. Those are difference-making type players. You lose Aleo Collins, you let him go. Okay. And I said, that's all right if you want to lose those players, but you have to be able to replace those players with the if you're losing that talent, you got to be able to replace the talent. The players that you brought in aren't really difference makers. They're really low-key journeymen. You get what I'm saying? Dante Fella been on his fourth team. Maybe you can resurrect his career, but do you really think you're going to keep him long-term? Probably not. James Washington, are you probably going to keep him long-term? Probably not. So you must hit on the draft. So if you don't hit on the draft, like I said, that sets your team back. And even if you do hit on the draft, you know what I'm saying? Now Trevin Diggs' contract's getting ready to come up. Who's going to be crying about the cap? Stephen Jones. So here's the problem. So if you're drafting these young players and you're getting these young players, to me, it's more expediently for you to try to win now. So I feel like there needs to be more pressure and a sense of urgency to win, because if you're crying about the cap, you understand what I'm saying, Joe? If you're crying about the cap and always don't want to overspend, then when you get these guys and draft them young, there needs to be a sense of urgency every single year to try and win a championship. Can't be this, we lost this year and let's try to get. No, it got to be that sense of urgency because y'all want to try to keep it cheap. So if you're trying to keep it cheap, then y'all need to win with these contracts because these contracts are going to come up. And when Michael Parsons come up, you're going to be crying the blues about him. When Trevin Diggs come up, you'll be crying the blues that you ain't got no money. And the same stuff going to be happening. And players that you was talking about, how they already restructured Dak, I feel like there's that pressure, him winning. Because if they looking at, you ain't won, and now we got to pay these other guys, I don't know if we're going to pay you again, Dak. You get what I'm saying? That's how the squeeze starts.
Yeah, and it builds a stigma almost, right? Like, just like we're talking about it, I'm sure there's a lot of players and a lot of, possible free agents that they could have went after that are going to be thinking this too. Like, Dallas ain't going to pay me. Like, I'm not going to get on my second contract there. Why even waste my time? So, it might, same thing with Philly. I know we're kind of cheap at certain positions. So it creates that stigma of a guy just being like, why would I want to go over there? Like, there's nothing financially that's really making me be like, oh, this makes sense. They're gonna bless me. They're gonna look out. I just don't see it. So I mean, it goes both ways. It's crazy. The NFL is a weird spot because I feel like you're either the team that wants to go out there and give up all your draft picks and get all the best players and spend all your money, or you're the opposite and you're trying to hold your money. The Eagles have said before, and Howie Roseman's, he has one quote that always sticks with me, and I think he said it like 4 years ago. But he said, he was like, free cap space does not win championships. And he's always lived by that. It lived and died by that. I'll be real. He'll always empty his clip, so to speak, right? So the fact that we have a little bit of money, it's either he's drafting everybody in that first round, and that's why he's keeping that money. So because I think it's like 9 or 10 to sign all of the draft picks as they stand. So if we were to do that, I can see why he's holding this money. Otherwise, I think something's going on. Like, he's just one of those dudes. Like, he's cheap, and he's going to get a lot of cheap deals, but he's not one to keep stuff, keep money around. Like, he's not, I don't know. It's hard to explain because he buys a lot of cheap stuff, but I don't know. He balls at the thrift store, it feels like, when it comes to free agency. So I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't mind getting a good player, but I doubt it at this point. But we about to get into this draft, basically. I hate it, Joe. I love it.
I mean, like I said, Dallas is not going to do it in free agency anymore. So there's always Dallas waits to the third wave, and Stephen Jones has said it. We're going to put out a number, and if they don't go by that number, then we're out. I mean, he's stuck true to that. So that's why I said, I mean, I look at maybe like there's an Anthony Barr night out there. I knew Bobby Wagner. I say he would only be a shut up signing if that was them to just tell the Cowboy, fan base to shut up. We got somebody. But when Wagner's number came out 1 year, 11 million, I already knew Dallas was done because I said you got to be a $6 million man to deal with the Dallas Cowboys. You want $6 million and down, then you come be with the Dallas Cowboys. If you want $6 million and up, then you might as well go on about your business because Dallas ain't paying you. And see, free agents know that. That's why free agents don't even look Dallas's way. And the only time they may ever say it is just because it's the Dallas Cowboys, and maybe they trying to just use it as leverage because they've done it before. Players have done it before, but they know that Dallas is not going to pay them. How can we be that ignorant to say that these free agents out there who do this every day have agents that deal with this, that they know the Cowboys aren't cheap and they're not going to pay you? So why are these players, they don't even look Dallas's way. So I don't know why there's always that link, because they know damn well Dallas ain't paying them that money. So Dallas not paying them 10, 12, 11 million as a free agent, U27. They're not doing it. So it's like, why are we even talking about it and looking at it? You better just hope that they nail this draft like usual and that these guys win in these rookie contracts, Joe. That's what it is. Like, that's the only thing I can say it. That's it in Dallas. They have to win on these rookie contracts, and they're going through the draft, and the guys that they re-signing are going to have to play above and beyond, because there always seems to be something there's a missing something between the front office and coaches. So either players got to have to play out of their mind, or you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only way, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel you. And, Richie just brought up DK Metcalf. And it's the same story with him, because the Eagles aren't going to pay that much money. We're gonna have to give. I know a lot of people don't like Elliott Shaw-Parks on the Philly side, but I mean, he just kind of came out with what it most likely would entail us doing, and it's going to look like what they had to give up for Tyreek. It's going to probably be around that range. You're going to have to pay the heck out of this man, and on top of that, you're going to have to give a lot of good draft picks to Seattle. The Eagles just aren't going to do that, and if they do, the Eagles fans should be pissed off. That wouldn't make sense for what we are and where we are right now. Like, getting a DK Metcalf does not make us a Super Bowl team. So I never understood that. I wouldn't have done it for Tyreek. I would have loved to get Tyreek on this team. Don't get me wrong. But once I saw the details of the trade, I was like, yeah, that makes zero sense. I would have never done that for the Eagles. Like, we're just not in a position to do that. Yeah, even the Dolphins aren't really in a position to do that. I wouldn't have done that if I was them.
I mean, the Dolphins are going to do that because that's what they do. I mean, that's what teams do. The teams that don't really have anything, they make it to where they can come up within a year or two. So they go all out, spend all that money. But I understand. I don't want Dallas to be like that, because that doesn't guarantee you a championship, in my opinion. Now, I've seen how the Rams did it, and I like they made some shrewd moves. But I also like how Dallas does it, to where they don't go crazy and just jump out the first thing that comes out there. That is smart to me. So people will be I want people to understand, like when I call him Baby Nuts Jones, is because I feel like there could be one player out there, like you got $14-15 million out there, right? You said that we're out on Bobby Wagner, but Bobby Wagner could have been the guy that could have meshed for that 1 or 2 years, that could have got you over the hump. Like he could have been the dude that kind of made it easier for everybody else. You don't know that. So that's where, to me, where you had 15 million available still, you could have flexed the 1 year deal with him and said, okay, you know what? We're going to take that chance this time on Bobby Wagner and see. Yeah, maybe he might be 32, but hey, he had played with Quinn, and if you saving that money, who you paying it with? They said, well, we lost Gregory, but we got 3 good players in like Dorrance Armstrong Jr., LVE, and somebody else. And I'm like, that's okay. And when they try to say, well, Dorrance Armstrong Jr. had 5 sacks and Randy Gregory had 6. Okay, see, you're looking at numbers, but the eyeball test says different when you see what a pass rusher is. Randy Gregory is compared to Dorrance Armstrong Jr. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe Dorrance Armstrong Jr. got more versatility, but how you trying to spin it, to me, ain't really working because, once again, you still ain't replaced that talent. You know what I mean? And there's one guy that you could have spent and it wouldn't have hurt you, and it could have happened, but you didn't want to take the chance. That's the thing. You being safe, and you just trying to bank on draft and your players. And to me, that's just safe, and that's why I call him Baby Nuts once again.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, and it's funny because now Howie's back on the hot side. We had like a nice little period of Eagles fans all coming together and be like, at least we made the playoffs, right? Like we were all just, hey, we were supposed to win 3 or 4 games. We were way better than anybody thought. At least we made the playoffs. Howie didn't do that bad. And now, over the past couple of weeks, everybody hates him again. But this is just who we are. This is who the Philadelphia Eagles are. It's not going to change. Kind of very similar to how you guys are. Maybe one day they realize that they're in a box that they have to change, right? Like if they hit a wall that they're like, look, we're not going to be able to do it unless we go ahead and change our philosophy a little bit. But I don't see it happening anytime soon, at least not in the 3 years that Howie extended himself. Pretty sure he's the one that made that extension up, but it is what it is. But let's get into the draft real quick. Let's get shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 20 people still in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. But yeah, let's get into this, man. This is my favorite part of the draft, or of this show, I should say. I love that. Dallas sucks. I like that. Yeah,
y'all suck too.
There's too many Dallas fans in here. I got to pull those up when I can. But yeah, let's get into
we're on the 3-game winning streak against you guys. That's why, like I said, I don't never sit there and say Philly sucks. That's matter of fact, I will go back to the story once again, and my boo knows it, and I'll say it once again, Joe, before you say anything. Every time I go to the gym, there's always that Philadelphia Eagle guy who he works behind the counter, and he's always saying something about Dallas. I say nothing about Philly. I walk in and getting ready to just go beep and go walk right in and do my gym. But he says something about Dallas all the time. And I said, once again, we don't worry about you guys. You worry about us. I'm just going to work out Dallas in your mouth once again. Please leave me alone about Dallas. We're better than you. We must be better than you because you keep talking about us. I never talk about the Eagles ever. I never will talk about you guys because y'all not worth me talking about. We have these great conversations right here, and I love it. But I could definitely go in on y'all at any point and drop a grenade on y'all at any point in time. But I just don't do it. Once the season starts, I'm gonna get you. See,
this is gonna be fun. Yeah,
we're being real good and nice and polite, but I can go in and I can get you guys really good. Okay, 3-game win streak. That's all I'm gonna say. So shush.
Hey, it's about to end at that 3 games.
That's how you always be saying.
I can't wait. But all right, so we're gonna get this going, man. So the Eagles have pick 15. I will be honest, I did one right before we came on here, and it was like such a good one. I was so hyped about that. I kind of wanted to try and re-simulate that, but in that one I was able to get Derek Stingley at number 15, and I was able to get Garrett Wilson at number 16. So that's already off the board because they already went. So I got Houston here trying to holler at me. I'm not doing that. I need to take this first pick. I need to get the best player available. Realistically, the Eagles can go a lot of different avenues right here. I like what's open, but I'm not gonna make it too long. Trayvon Walker's there. Trayvon Walker would fit this defense. He can line up basically. He's very, very similar to what Milton Williams was, what they wanted Milton Williams to be, I should say. He's very versatile, can play along the line. So I think that you fill up a couple gaps here. He can be your defensive tackle at sometimes, but he can be your defensive end. He can probably even line up with his hand outside, out of the dirt and just line up in a standing up. And the Eagles said they want more versatility in their defense. So I think he fits that perfectly. Now, here is where I want to try and trade. Because that's an interesting one.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm going to just usually I have to like give up more and do different things.
I see a first.
And a fourth.
And a fourth.
I'm gonna counter them because I would love to get back in here.
See, there you go.
Eagles fans might think this is too much. I don't care. I'll give you my late picks if I can get back in this round. Oh, they said hell no. I'll take what they gave me. Gave me. Let me see if anybody's saying anything. No, what y'all thinking in the chat? Because now I'm thinking. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Man. Now I'm thinking. I like that pick. I like that. I would love to get back in this. So they give me pick 40. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead with that. I mean, there's nobody on the board outside of like a Devin Lloyd that I would love to get right now. Andrew Booth, possibly.
He came and visited us.
Devin Lloyd?
Yep.
Damn. So maybe I should just take him. No, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take that trade.
You can have him. I don't want him early.
I feel you. You don't not even in the first round?
Nope.
Wow, that's interesting. Interesting.
I've been told you that.
And you like, is it that you like Nakobe better than him, or you just don't want a linebacker in the first round?
We all listen. I just told you how to go by how Dallas think. They have they have Micah Parsons. They're going to move him around. They're not just going to keep, but they're going to move him around. He's going to be like the ultimate weapon. They re-signed LVE. He was healthy. They have really high hopes. We all have high hopes. They said Jabril Cox is coming back good from his ACL. They have high hopes for him. He's already that player that Devin Lloyd is. All right, but I feel like a little better. Yeah, I feel like Devin Lloyd is not a bad player, but I don't want him early. I don't feel like he's like that who's who, ballyhoo guy that's just going to come in and tear up the league. No, I don't. I don't believe that at all. I feel like he had a high amount of tackles because of where he played, and it was a lot of tackles, but after the line of scrimmage. They already had that type of player. So you already have a rangy guy with that size already, and I feel like they're not putting linebacker as a high priority. So then, Devin Lloyd, he might visit it, but I feel like maybe he drops, but they're not taking him in no 24 pick. I don't believe so. If they do, I will be frustrated if they picked him at 24.
I respect that. I remember when Tyler Linderbaum was supposed to be the Eagles pick no matter what. Right now, I haven't picked him once. I'm looking right now. I know people are going to beat me up for not taking Devin Lloyd, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I really don't mind y'all getting mad about that because I'm not going to do it. That you are the reason why I've kind of shied away from linebackers in the first round because there is so much depth at the position, and mixed with the fact that we did just bring what's his name in Kaiser White, and I'm sure they think that he's great. So I doubt that they're going to go with a first round linebacker now. I'm between Kaiir Elam and Andrew Booth. That's where I'm at right now. I love Kaiir Elam. I wouldn't even be mad at a wide receiver, especially a Chris Olave. But I know I have number 40 as well. So I want to get a top tier cornerback. I like Andrew Booth. I do. But I've been saying since the beginning of this offseason, Kaiir Elam is like a top 3 guy to me at the cornerback position. I'm going to stick to my guns. I know a lot of people might disagree, but I'm going to take Kaiir Elam. Now the Cowboys have 3 trade offers. Are you trying to look at some of these? That's a lot of picks. The Patriots ain't playing.
Jeez. I might take that.
2 more. You got 2 more. So that's nothing in comparison. Well, you're only moving back 1.
Right.
And you're moving up. That's not a bad one. Moving up, moving back 5, going up.
Ooh. Yeah, I
That's a
don't
lot
want
of
to.
picks.
I do. I don't like that though. So
Yeah,
go
moving out
past
of
it.
the first round.
Yeah, I don't want. Hmm. Go to the other one. Hmm.
This is interesting. These are good trades.
I know. Let me go with that Buffalo trade.
I respect that. I respect that.
Hope they don't take the. Okay, I'm cool. All right. Nope. I'm taking my pick. I'm taking my pick.
Patriots want to move up. I wonder who they would have moved up for. Maybe Tyler Linderbaum. Oh, Booth is still there.
Nah.
Linderbaum. Is Linderbaum somebody you would even look at? I know you guys
I
need a
don't
center.
listen. I keep telling people. I like Tyler Linderbaum. He's a good player, like for real. Everybody keeps on wanting him. I want to give Tyler Biadasz. I mean, and I feel like they got centers that they're looking at. He hasn't even been in the building under 30 prospects. So you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, they don't need to mess with center right now. You got a center. He's not a bad center. You just talked about he just got to get stronger. Let him get stronger. If he doesn't pan out this year, then you move on from him. Okay? But give him his last chance. He wasn't trash. Leave him alone. I'm going right here with Kenyon Green. He's already been in the building. I said he may have had the bad put him in at 25, Kenyon Green. I throwing the card in. Bing, bing. Because he may have had the bad combine, and I'm like, maybe they told him to have the bad combine so he could be available to pick him. I was geeked up. 6'4", 330 pounds. We're already feeling good about the draft. I feel like they really want to draft him, Joe. I feel like he'd be the man to come in and be the starting left guard right now. I feel like he can flex many positions. We're happy about that right now in Cowboy land.
I respect that. I like that pick. I mean, yeah, I would be surprised if he's even there, if I'm being honest. I think he might go a little bit higher than that. So the Eagles got a trade offer to move back 4 spots and then move up to 78, which honestly, I might take that. I'm trying to look at who's on the board. Let's see if they got a wide receiver. Ooh, I would love Jahan Dotson, but the Eagles would never pick him up. I think I'm going to take that as Travis. Yeah, I like Travis Jones a lot. Let me see. I'm going to take that trade because I don't mind moving up, and I'm going to hope that either Devontae Wyatt's still there. This is actually a tough one. Let me see what they got at safety. I like Jalen Petrie, but I'm thinking I can probably get him even if I move back. So my thought process right here, because I am gonna take that trade. But to speak out loud, my process is right now, if I can move back 4 and still get Devontae Wyatt, he's my number 1. My number 2 would probably be either Christian Harris or Travis Jones. But worst case scenario, I think I could still get Jalen Petrie. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that and hope I can get 2 of them. So Christian Harris comes off, Devontae Wyatt, of course, that's who they moved up to get. We don't trade with division teams. That's not what we do in here.
No,
we don't do that here.
We ain't doing it
either. So since they made 2 of my choices for me, like I said, I wanted either Devontae Wyatt, Christian Harris, or Travis Jones. I'm going with Travis Jones. You know, obviously he's from Connecticut, so that's a big deal to me. But I think this kid's going to be a beast, if I'm being 100% honest. I think that there's something, just the size, the athleticism that he brings. I keep on saying he's like a baby Jordan Davis. Like, that's really what he reminds me of. So I love Travis Jones, especially at this position. And defensive tackle is something we're going to have to figure out sooner than later. So I'll take sooner. I think I'm going to – ooh, this is a –
man, they're throwing up all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, people just want to. I think I'm gonna reject these. I'm just gonna reject those. So the Eagles. I'm looking at Jalen Petrie right here. We got ourselves our edge. We got our interior. We got our corner.
It's pretty good draft so far.
Yeah, I'm liking this so far. I told you I did one this morning. I was like, look, we gonna kill him today.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
This might be a spot I look at wide receiver. Alec Pierce is jumping out at me. Even a George Pickens, I would not mind on this team at all. Michi would be interesting. Who we got? Do we just go Petrie? I'm thinking Jalen Petrie right now. Is anybody saying anything? Richie over here saying I'm sabotaging the Eagles. People so mad. Give me Jahan Dotson for that first round for Dallas. Ooh, he's still on the board right now. I think this is a tough one. I wouldn't mind Sam Williams, but I don't want to double dip there. We need a safety, man. So I'm gonna go with Jalen Petrie. Let me see who else is there. Yeah, I like Jalen Petrie ahead of these guys. Way ahead of these guys. All right, yeah, let's go Jalen Petrie. I'll take them Baylor boys all day, even though I don't like Texas. It's okay.
Reject that.
All right, so you gonna reject that? Go ahead, get you Sam Howell.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna see. We got their offensive lineman. You know, everybody's talking Dotson. He could be the guy right here. George Pickens, he's available too. I know they're looking at that defense. Go over to I think they may want to go offense right here. I think they may want to go to receiver right here. For real. Who's all on the board?
I like Jahan Dotson. He's just small, man. He's really small.
I think we're gonna get at least 2 receivers out of here. They're gonna want some dynamic. Scroll up some, big dog. I know they like Alec Pierce, though. They went to his pro day. He's nice, too.
Yeah, Alec Pierce is good. Cincinnati, that whole team has, like, NFL prospects. It's crazy. They're like a Cinderella story. I can't remember the last time Cincinnati has had this many prospects in this draft.
Just for fun, let's do Jahan Dotson right here on Penn State. We got a speedster.
Yeah, he definitely is a speedster. He could definitely take the top off of a defense. Everybody want to trade. Yo, Patriots ain't playing. They like, we'll give you whatever. I'm gonna reject it. All right. I was thinking wide receiver. Honestly, I don't like anybody that's left on the board. I was hoping maybe a Jalen Tolbert, maybe a Michi was still there. But no, they took everybody. They even took Alec Pierce off the board.
See, that's why I had to scoop one because there wouldn't have been no receivers. You feel me, dog?
Facts. Nah, that's a fact. That was smart. David Bell, I've heard some good things about.
Kind of slow.
Yeah.
Possession guy.
Ooh, I like Nintendo there. Right, let me double check what I got so far. I got a whole bunch of picks left. Travis, so I got my edge, I got my corner, I got my safety. I guess so I could kind of play around here. What do we got at the edge position left? Bari is jumping out at me right now. Brian Asamoah, maybe I can get them a little bit later though. Yeah, I think we're gonna go Kingsley Enagbari. Defensive line is something I don't think the Eagles will ever shy away from picking. Damn, they just want to give me every pick. You want to move up too? Who do you want? These dudes is crazy. I don't even like the Patriots. They don't get none of my picks. Let's see what we got here. So with this one, I think I might have to make a little bit of a reach because when do I pick again?
Ooh, I got back to back. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, do you? Yeah, you do. That's crazy. Oh, because of that trade you made. So I'm gonna make a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit of a reach here, dog. It's gonna be a little bit of a reach here, dog. But I haven't been able to pick him on a lot of my drafts, and I want him on this team. I would love for him to be on this team. It's somebody me and you have been talking about a lot. Channing Tindall. Got to bring Channing Tindall on this squad. And I need a linebacker from this draft.
Nope, I ain't even doing that.
Yeah, that's not even that great of a trade, especially compared to all the other ones that we've been seeing.
All right, so let's see here. I feel like they want to go edgy or a linebacker right here. Go to the edge. You know what? What round is this? Third?
I believe so. No, I think it's the fourth. Right?
You sure?
In the 80s.
That's
You had
third.
1, 2. So yeah, it is the third. It is third.
Okay.
I can't count.
Okay. Damn. Keep scrolling down. Oh, they took their guy. Okay, scroll back up. All right. Go to D tackle. All right. Go to linebacker. I got to go through all this.
No, I feel you. There's still some talent there. Definitely a linebacker. It's crazy how deep it is there.
All right, scroll up. All right, and go to tight end.
Boy Jaylani there.
All right. I'm gonna go my linebacker. Not my linebacker. Right here. That might be a reach, D'Angelo Malone. That might be a reach. I'm struggling with this because they took some good players off the board, and I feel like I
this
would be
is a
reaching.
tougher one.
I'd be feeling like I'd be reaching.
I like D'Angelo Malone though. He is a good player.
All right, bump it. I'm gonna take because I know they won't want Woods, so I'm gonna take Jelani Woods and I'm gonna take D'Angelo Malone.
Let's see who's ranked higher, so it makes you feel like you didn't reach as much, right? So this one's high. He's higher. So we'll do 129. Boom, Jelani.
Because they took Nick Bonito. That's who I wanted. They took him right before me.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. So you said D'Angelo Malone.
Mm-hmm.
And Jelani Woods.
I probably reached, but that's all right.
Hey, sometimes you gotta. It is what it is. Sometimes you gotta grab. So look at that. They want to give you a bunch of picks. You want to see what's available first?
Yeah. Because see, I'm trying to draft how they drafting. I don't know if they would have went and got D'Angelo Malone. I don't know if they would have did that. They probably should look at that. I don't know if they would have did that, but I definitely know they wanted Jelani Woods. I know they wanted Kenyon Green, Jahan Dotson, and maybe I could have went Alec Pierce because they went to his pro day. I'm just trying to go how they went. I think they'll stay put. Let me leave that alone.
Like that. There's one person I got my eye on right now. I hope he stay there for my pick.
So I'm up on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go to linebacker. I'm going to take Darian Beavers. I'm going to take Darian Beavers.
I respect that. I respect that. Let's see if my guy's still here. He's probably not going to be, and it's okay. I'm not going to be upset. Yeah, he's definitely not here. I wanted to take old boy from Florida.
Who?
Damian, what's his name? Hold on, I'll tell you. Damian Pierce. There you go. Because I wouldn't mind the Eagles getting a running back. Yeah, at this point, I would not have mind the running back at this point. I might get Tyquan Thornton, keep a stack with you. What picks do I have left? Yeah, because now I have a bunch of throwaway picks. Not throwaway. I don't want to say throwaway picks. But these guys aren't going to. I like Brian Cook. Maybe I would take Brian Cook. I know we got a safety already, but I don't know if I trust Anthony Harris. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Brian Cook out of Cincinnati. I like this kid at safety spot. Would not mind seeing him fighting for a position. I like JoJo Damon a lot. I've said that a bunch of times. I like JoJo Damon. Let's see what they got. Maybe I should have took. Yeah, I should probably take Tyquan Thornton. People gonna roast me. No wide receiver. No wide receiver.
They're gonna be on me.
For what?
They're gonna be on me. Not really, but D'Angelo, I probably reached on him on the third round.
But sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to reach to grab the guy that fits.
But I liked him, and Woods maybe too. But I know they like him. I know they like him, and I think they would have moved up to get him. So that's why I did it.
I really don't know who I want to grab right now. Some people say Smoke Monday. I'm good on Smoke Monday.
No.
I think I'm going to stay on the defensive side because there is somebody I want on the offensive line, but it'll be a reach to get him right now if he's even still available. If he's taken, I'm going to be mad. He got taken. Oh, no, he's still there. Maybe I'll take him now. I think I'll take him now just to be safe. So, all right, Obina as I not like the greatest. I think this is a perfect person to give to Stoutland. This is why I'm going to take him, just because he's athletic, he's huge. I think he's like 6'6" or something like that, but he's big, athletic. He's not like the most technically sound, and he has some work to do. But I think you add him to this offensive line, I think he'll be somebody that in a couple years you're looking at the very worst, like a good swing tackle. So I think I'm going to go with him. I would love for people to give me like next year picks, like give me some next year picks. I wouldn't mind that. But nah, I'm not I don't want to move back in this draft now anymore. The Eagles could get a punter. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. Our special teams was terrible last year, like really bad last year. It started off really well. Shout out to Aaron Sippis. We had Aaron Sippis, our punter, on the show, and he started off really, really well. And then I don't know, it just like over the season, and it's not just him. Obviously we were we were like the league lowest in yards per punt and stuff like that, and net yards. So, or very close to it. So it was tough for a stretch of time. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I can't do it in my heart. I just can't pick a punter right now. I want to pick a position. And I think I'm going to go with JoJo Damon. I wanted to get away from him just because I didn't want to keep picking him. But at this point in the draft, I think it's really, really good value. And the Cowboys right behind us.
Go to D tackle. Go back up. To go to I'm gonna get old Tito. I don't care.
I respect that. You right back like you never left. So far, you got a pretty good haul.
I don't think that's bad at all.
Nah.
I got what we wanted.
You still got picks.
Let's go to offensive tackle. I feel like they may want to scroll back up. See, I ain't keen on all these offensive linemen. You know what I mean?
I feel like with a name like Spencer Buford, he's going to be something. I feel like with a name like that.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
He was born to just move things around.
Go to DN. I know I need a corner. You know who I'm gonna take? I'm gonna take your boy. Um, keep going up. Tyreek Smith.
I respect that. That's not my boy. I'm a Penn State fan.
I know he ain't.
You guys are right back on
Again.
again. You guys got a lot more picks left. I
Yeah.
think we got like 2 more.
We got that 5th round.
Yeah, 2
let
more.
me go receiver. I probably need an old lineman.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Danny Gray because I've been liking Gray.
Right there, you right back on it, and I'm right behind you.
Let me go with the old lineman.
You want to look interior?
Yeah. Let me see interior. Keep going. Scroll back up. I thought it was this one guy that will be there.
Parham there.
Mm-hmm. I want somebody that can flex though.
Chris Paul, maybe. He's more of an interior guy through and through.
Mm-hmm. Let me go Parham.
Parham, I respect that. I like him. I might just take Kyle Phillips. Honestly, I don't know much about Kyle Phillips, but I know they're gonna roast me if I don't take a wide receiver in this at all. I don't think I ever take a wide receiver. I think there's been like one or two. I'm telling you, this one that I did this morning was absolutely perfect. People would have loved it, but of course, the one wide receiver I wanted to take goes off the board. So it is what it is. I mean, I would. Let me see if there's anybody out because this is my last pick. So I might take Jalen. I don't know who I want to take. I think I'm just gonna take the wide receiver, or maybe a Demarco Jackson.
Hey, get Demarco. That's a great pick on the back end.
I like Demarco Jackson a lot. Just trying to make sure because I feel like I'm missing something. Jacoby Durant is somebody that people have been talking about lately.
I didn't get no corners, no safeties. Dang.
That's why I'm trying to make sure nobody, you know what I'm saying?
This draft was okay for me. My last draft, that was my best draft, in my opinion.
I think this might be my best draft. We're going to see. We're going to look.
This is not my best one. Not my best one.
I think I am going to go Demarco Jackson because I got one. I don't have one line, but I have Channing Tindall. You know, just with the players we have, I don't know if they'd add him, but at this point, you know, we're going to take that shot. We're going to take that shot. We're going to get Demarco Jackson on this squad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that
ends
it for us.
Yeah, that ends it for us too.
Yeah. So, yeah, we done. So, all right. So, we want to go through your Dallas Cowboys first?
Yes, I will. So, all right. So our first pick, Kenyon Green. I like that pick a lot because I feel like the Cowboys really like him. Texas A&M, close to Cowboys. We see him a lot. 6'4", 330 pounds. When I watched his tape, he played every position except center. Really good on that left side. I think he's your instant starter, in my opinion, at the left guard position. Has the size and the ability, good feet, good arm length. Like you said, didn't test the best at the combine, but Maybe they got in his head, said, don't do that so we can grab you. So he's already been on the 30 visit. They've already had, a formal talk with him. So I feel like he's the guy. He's there. So let's not let him go. The second round pick, I kind of battled with this. Alec Pierce was there. They did go to his pro day. He's a good player, 6'3", 211 pounds. He's got 4.3 speed as well. I kind of battled with that because I like I said, I want to go how the Cowboys pick. Now, how I do so, maybe they pick him. I think he's a second or third round guy, but they didn't visit him. So, but they went to his pro day. So, they didn't talk nothing about no Jahan Dotson. I think that was just in the air. Maybe I swayed that way because of that, but he does offer a lot of speed. He's more of a slotty guy. They need more, to me. Guy can play outside and slot. Maybe Dahan can do that. I haven't really watched a lot of his tape, but I know he can get past that defense, and I know he can do some punt return. But with Gallup going to be out maybe a first month of the year, you need a guy that can come in and be a starter on that second side right there. So maybe I kind of that's why I kind of battled with that pick. So that's why I feel like I had to next. And then Jelani Woods, I feel like I maybe reached for him in the third round, but I feel like the Cowboys liked him, and somebody's going to take him based on his combine. He turned up his last year. Dallas has already met him, went to his pro day exclusively, where like they were working with him. You feel me? He's already been in on the 30 visit. I feel like they like him. They need to add speed. Maybe I reached, but I feel like they were going to maybe trade up to maybe get him because they like him. And he ran that 4.65. He's the second fastest guy behind I think it's Chigawizzle, Alakohunu. I can't say his name, but he's nice too. He ran like a 4.5, but he's nice too though. From a dog, them names is tough, bro. But right there, and then my next pick after that, my edge guys were going. You know what I mean? You remember I told you I wanted Nick Bonito. That was who I was going to pick right after that. I felt real good about that because I believe Nick Bonito is your strictly pass rush guy. But I like D'Angelo Malone too. I think people slipping on him. Only reason why I said Bonito because he's a guy that can instantly do it. We have to see Malone, even though he offers a lot because he can play multiple positions, but he's more going to be a stand-up guy, more of a linebacker maybe type, maybe spot pass rusher. To me, he has the power and ability, but he did play in a small school. You're going into the NFL. I don't know if you're really going to get in there. We'll see. So maybe that was a kind of a reach. I came back with Darren Beavers, linebacker. I think that's good value right there. He's a big linebacker. He's got really good speed. I like that. Otito Okabanaya, I've been telling you, I've been wanting to get him late. 6'3", 6'4", 330 pound, plenty strong, 29 bench. Play with Okadazua. I think that's good value right there. Tyreek Smith, edge guy, didn't have a super great testing, but did good enough. And he played at University of Ohio State. And I thought he was okay in the Senior Bowl as well, practices and the game. So for the value that we're looking at, that's another edge guy that could be sneaky. You didn't spend a lot of draft pick on him, collateral, so he could be a guy, since he played at Ohio State, could sneak on the roster. You feel real good about that. You feel me right there, Joe? So I'm looking at that pick. That was a good pick because you got another edge guy. So you got two edge guys. You got your backer. You got your tight end. I think you wanted. You got your offensive lineman. I believe you wanted. And maybe a little suspect on that receiver. That might have been on me. But you came back and got Danny Gray. I like him, 4.3, legit speed. He's a return guy. And for what I picked him at, I'm definitely cool with that. And then you got two guys that are fast. So we at least got that. And then Dylan Parham, he's an offensive guard. Played a little tackle, but more like he's going to be guard. So, that's depth right there. He's a last pick. He's a depth guy. So maybe he can flex in different positions and see what you got. So I don't feel like it was a bad draft. You feel me? Because I went by what the Cowboys kind of do. But I don't think it was great. People look at it like, it wasn't great. But for what the Cowboys were talking and bringing in, I think it was cool.
Yeah, I respect that. And I will say one thing about I don't like Ohio State, obviously, but Ohio State has an amazing defensive line coach. So he was taught by one of the better coaches in the game. So that should probably work out for him. And let's not forget, you did have that trade as well. So You gave up the 25th pick, or no, fourth pick and the 155, and you were able to get higher in the 89th pick, and the 89th pick ended up being D'Angelo Malone. So without that pick, you might not even have that, edge player that you were looking for. So that worked out for you.
And I definitely that Woods at the tight end. I think he's played himself up in the draft, especially with that speed. He's becoming the talk of the draft. And you know how it is when they really talk you up in the draft, they start overdrafting you. And I think he can be a guy that may get overdrafted early because they hit that ability. And the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys, for some reason, Cowboys really want him, I feel like, in my opinion. And Dallas especially with losing Blake Jarwin the way we have. We lost Blake Jarwin, and he was like kind of our speed tight end. And they had a lot of high hopes for Blake Jarwin. A lot of us did. Blake Jarwin was that speed guy where Dalton Schultz was that underneath guy. And now, they signed Dalton Schultz to the franchise tag, but, we'll see what happens with that deal. But he's still not the speed guy. Sean McKeon is not a speed guy. They re-signed Jeremy Sprinkle. He's not a speed guy. You need somebody that can challenge on that tight end position, tight end, challenge the seams, the inseams, challenge that. And I think they want a guy that can do that, and this kid can do it. And I think they want to fight in tight end. So I think that's why I went after him in that third, because I think they don't want to lose him. And I think they could reach for him because of that ability.
Yeah, I respect that. Like I said, I feel like sometimes you got to reach for guys that they want. Like I will say one thing. I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles, I think I didn't reach on much. I like this draft. No, I really do. This is one of my better drafts. This is, and I'm not saying that to just be facetious. Obviously, I like to, brag a little bit, but I like this. Look, Trayvon Walker is not a guy that I see falling to number 15 as of late, especially how they're talking about him. But if he does, the Eagles would be crazy not to pick him. We did give up, obviously, our number 16 pick, but we did go ahead and take at number 19, Kyer Elam, who some people might say that's a reach. I don't think so at all. I think that he's a proven first-round guy. I don't know. I think people are looking for things in him to not like, especially because of the history of Florida. Like, Florida hasn't really putting out great cornerbacks in the past couple years. So, I mean, I love him. I think he's going to be that guy. Travis Jones, like I said, it sucks because now, let's be real. I don't think this would happen in the sense that giving up on Devontae Wyatt, not taking him, if it's the Eagles, they most likely take him there. But I did it to be able to move up a little bit in the later rounds, which I think helped us. So Travis Jones, I love Travis Jones. Like I said, kind of a baby Jordan Davis, probably a little bit better at pass rush, like at least in college. Obviously, he did play for Connecticut, so that you got to factor that in. And then Jalen Petrie, I think, is a starting safety right now. I think he can go in there and start for us. So I love that pick, especially at 51. And I think those first four are starters. You know what I'm saying? Those first four to me are starters. Yep. And not only that, you have a first-round pick next year and a fourth-round pick next year.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at.
I think that first four picks, no matter how you feel about the rest, I think that would be a win in this draft. Like that would be huge for the Philadelphia Eagles. Kingsley Enagbare, I think he could be a starter as well. If I'm being 100% honest.
He's a lot of people are talking about him right now.
Yeah, so if he actually drops as far as we got him to, look, I would love to see him on the Philadelphia Eagles, especially with the way the Eagles play their game. They don't like to have one, they don't have one defensive end out there for 90% of the snaps like some teams do. We are guys that like to bring different waves at you. And if you look at a lot of these guys you look at a Travis Jones, he can move to the outside, be a different, difference maker on the outside if he has to. Kingsley and Enagbare can move to the inside, outside, kind of like how he did Brandon Graham. Channing Tindall is another guy. I know that he's listed as a linebacker. He's a guy that can line up at edge for you every now and then. So these I'll even say first 5-6 picks are just all guys that are immediately going to impact your football team. So I love these first couple picks. Brian Cook, I like Brian Cook. I think that there's a ceiling there. I think that we'll see what it is. I don't know. I like him. I like the measurables. I like how he's played. I don't know what he's going to really translate to into the NFL, but he's somebody that I think can definitely give you some meaningful snaps. And if he can be that third safety that the Eagles used to use when we had like Corey Graham and some other guys, obviously when Malcolm Jenkins was our starter. So I think that that's a really one. I can't say his name, but Ezzy. I'm just going to say Easy or Ezzy. I don't know. But this offensive tackle from TCSU, I don't know why now I'm like, I jumped on the JoJo Domann train, right? Like now this is my new guy. I think that just the size, the speed, like he's so raw. And he just is somebody that I think that Stoutland, if you put him in front of Stoutland, he's going to be drooling to be able to like kind of work with this guy. So I think this is somebody that would be big for us. JoJo Domann, I've said a million times, probably the best coverage corner in this draft. The coverage linebacker, excuse me, in this draft, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. And then Demarco Jackson, I think he's a good coverage guy as well. I think he's kind of good at a little bit of everything. It's just I don't know how he's going to deal with some of these bigger guys coming at him in the run game. Like I don't know if he's going to be able to really stand up to that in the NFL. But at the spot that we got him at, I'm not mad at that at all. He can realistically become a 3-down linebacker if that's good. If he's good in the run, I just get worried about his size, to be honest. And then, we got that first and that fourth. I love my draft. I would say like a solid B+ if I'm being honest. Like I would love to have a wide receiver here, and I know everybody's going to beat me up for that, but I ain't got nothing bad to say about this draft.
Man,
not one.
Well, I ain't really mad at your draft, Raph. I ain't really mad at it either. If we want to really keep it real, you got a lot of good picks, and especially in the first, like you said, the first 4 picks, that first round pick, and I think what you got the fourth, that's what I'm looking at. You got those picks for next year. But yeah, very solid draft. I'm gonna give you a solid B, maybe a B+ as well. Looking from my outside looking in, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and those picks help, man. Those added picks they come in handy. When you see a next year draft, and you see 4 picks for you, you'll be able to look at that draft next year and be like, "Ooh, I remember we got that first." So them jokers come in handy, especially if a player may fall or drop the way you want, or it comes in handy. So,
especially if Denver sucks, they're in a stacked.
I can't hate on that.
They're in a stacked division or conference, I should say, right now. So who knows? They might be trash. They might be middle of the road. I'll take middle of the road. With your draft, I'll give you a solid B. I think that I think maybe B- because you didn't get some of the guys that you wanted. But I don't think you can be upset about this. I really don't. I mean, as an Eagles fan, I wouldn't say this scares me. Like, I think it's not sexy in the sense of
it's solid.
You didn't get that. Exactly. Like you didn't maybe get a Micah Parsons in this draft, but you're not going to get that at 25. But this is exactly what you needed. You know what I'm saying? So I respect it. I like I said, I give it a solid B, maybe B- at the worst. But I like it. I like it.
I give it a C+.
I respect that. We got to be our biggest critics, right? No, I like it though. I love my draft. I can't wait to post these. Not gonna lie. This one was a good one. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be up the quickest.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out there and throw it out there. Yeah, hurry up and throw it out there. Because when I go live, I'm gonna have to show them and say everybody could critique me. That's not what they said though. Okay.
I can't believe you would take him. Why you messed it up, Jake? Right. People telling me I'm making Howie proud. I am not happy about that. That's not what I'm trying to do here. That is not what I'm trying to do here. But so I mean, look, I like these drafts. I think the closer that we get, the more realistic they start to become for Eagles and Cowboys, because we're getting a little bit more intel. And over these past couple weeks, or next couple weeks, I should say, we're gonna get even more. I mean, we're gonna start hearing more and more rumors. I'm sure that the trades aren't over. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things going on. So I'm looking forward to it. I am definitely looking forward to the next couple weeks, man. But yeah, I don't know. I get nervous about this draft because I feel like we're doing all this work. And I know you guys probably don't have to deal with this as much as us, but Howie trades like so much with these picks. So I really get nervous that we're not going to stick at any of those picks. I had Chris McPherson on the other day. I think yesterday, actually, that he works for the Eagles, and he was telling me, he was like, let's be honest, like, Howie doesn't like to stay around. He loves to trade and wheel and deal. So all these mock drafts that we're doing, who knows if we're even going to stick there. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited, though. I'm definitely excited for this upcoming couple weeks.
Well, I told you the lifeline is the Cowboys is in their draft. So we don't have that's what we have nothing else to look forward to. We don't have look forward to free agency and jumping out there and getting anybody exciting. This is what the Cowboys look. This is what it has to be. And like you said, it's the Cowboys have to hit on that. They have to hit on it pretty much every draft. And that's why they get those picks and those compensatory picks, and they try to use those to their advantage. So you got 4 of them this year. We'll see what happens in this draft. Like I said, this isn't a one of those who's draft. This is the number one main guy. There's could be a lot of guys that could hit number one or this top 5.
Yeah.
So to me, once again, I said this from the very beginning about this draft. This is a depth draft. You may not get a lot of sexy picks, but you're going to get picks that are really going to come in and plug in your spots that you need right now. And Cowboys got some spots for filled, and I feel like this is a draft where they can really do it, especially if they keep those picks in the 4th round or the 5th round, where they got 4 of them. They can probably.
Bless you.
Excuse me. They can work those picks to their advantage.
That's a good mic. I'll say that
crazy.
much.
My sneeze is coming in waves, dog. They don't be.
That's a good mic. Did you put it on mute?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I was about to say that's a really good mic. I ain't catching none of that.
That mic ain't that good. I hit off, but I hit the off button like doop, choom, choom. So I was like, man, that's gonna be loud as hell. Hit loud. I said, click off right here. Came back to it like click on. I'm good with it, dog. I'm real good with it. If you only knew how good with it is, you'd know. For real. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens in this draft. I think the only thing that things have changed in that first round with Dallas, with that 24th pick. Receiver, like I said, is being talked about a lot more. And now with Michael Gallup, we all knew it. Stephen Jones tried to say, "Oh, he's gonna be." No, he's not. We knew he ACL. We knew he's gonna be not gonna be ready for the first month of the season. So that's your number 2 guy that's not going to be there, and that's a lot of pressure on your number 1. You got James Washington but he keeps on talking the talk, but we don't know if he's going to step up and be like a number 2 guy. So now that puts pressure on who you're going to really draft. Now they're talking about they may move up to get a Chris Olave. Why are you telling people that? First of all, I don't know, but hey, that's what they do. Like I said, that's the frustrating part in Dallas. Don't say nothing about moving up nowhere. Just be quiet. And all of a sudden, bam, Dallas did a move up trade. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it, bro. You don't be talking about it because now you got people who hate y'all that just spite you and draft people ahead of you just because. And that's happened time and time again in Dallas.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because like with the Eagles, like I like that how he's so like secretive, but sometimes he does a little bit too much. It's like he'll tell people he doesn't want, quarterbacks, but we all know it's on the back of your mind. Like, my GM lies to me a lot. At least yours is like honest with you guys. It says this is what we gonna do.
He ain't honest.
My GM just be lying.
They be lying all the time too, dog. Whoever told you I'll be lying, they be lying all the time, dog. They definitely ain't no honest people. So no, just because they're saying that out front, that they just dumb like that. They just want to tell you all their moves because they always want to stick out their chest and say this is what we're gonna do. They like that shine on them, but it ain't smart moves. And to me, it's more pompous and it's more what's that word for? It's just kind of arrogant to me that they set out there and do that. So I kind of don't like it because it shows that side more than anything else to me.
I feel that. I definitely respect that. But we are about to get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys watching. We're about 25 people still in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family, join both families. I don't care if you're an Eagles or Cowboys fan. Be sure to go check out my guy, Big Game James. If you are over here for the Cowboys talk, be sure to, hit the like at the very least. If you want to subscribe, I won't kick you out too quick. But this is it's going to only get more interesting, more fun. Obviously, we're going to be having some guys on this channel and everything. So, until next week, I guess. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here, James?
Nah, man, just keep on supporting the channel. Keep on supporting the Philly podcast, the Big Game James podcast. You know how we do it. We try to bring as real as we can. As the draft is coming around the corner, we've been going hard in the paint, and it'll be interesting to see from all the players we talked about and mocked And all these weeks we're doing, be interested to see who both our teams talk about or actually take. And then, ready for the breakdown afterwards to see how these players can really, help and affect the team, in a positive way year one. I think that's what always is the excitement is what these guys can add to your team right now, because the draft can really change your team within a year or two. If you do it correctly with good coaching, I mean, you can be right back on top within a year or two with the good drafts. That's just the truth. We'll see. And just keep on supporting our podcast, man, and keep on supporting our shows. Regardless of what we do, continue to support. I like how the chat has grown. Each time that we've done this, the chat has grown, and I like to keep it consistent. So let's keep on bringing it and keep on showing us that love. We appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Never forget, man. I know this isn't a competition, but if it was, I won the draft today.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. But we're going to have them posted up on Twitter, so be sure to follow both of us on Twitter. And let's keep this conversation going, and let's keep this conversation moving about who you would have picked and, what you liked from our picks and yada, yada, yada. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. Fly goes fly. You already know. But we out here. Peace.